Hi there. This is a quick 10-minute morning stretch to get your blood flowing, to help you feel loose and energized for your day. And we will do this practice just seated in a chair. So let's begin by letting the feet be about just hip distance apart, hands resting on the thighs, sitting up nice and tall just to give some space into the spine. And I want to invite you to close your eyes and just take a couple of deep breaths in and out. So this is a great way just to invite a deeper breath into your lungs, to start to cleanse the systems of the body, to move oxygen into the muscles. Let's do 2 more. And just to start your day in a more calm, present, aware way. Good. And if your eyes were closed, you can open your eyes. So depending on how you sleep, whether you lie on your back or your belly or your side, we can just feel kind of tight and cramped after we get up in the morning. So we're going to just try to loosen everything up, starting with the neck. So I want you to look up, stretching the front of the throat and neck. Look down, stretching the back of the neck. Look to the left, only as much as feels good in your body. Look to the right. So just paying attention to the range of motion that's available and doing left ear to left shoulder and right ear to right shoulder. And then bringing the head back to center, taking a deep breath in and out. And then let's give some movement in the shoulders. So I want you to roll your left shoulder forward up, back and down. And then your right shoulder, forward up, back and down. And then we're going to reverse. Left shoulder is going to go back first, up, and then forward and down. And then right shoulder, back, up, forward, and down. Then let's get a little space in the fronts of the shoulders, lifting the elbows and pulling them back towards one another. And then the back of the shoulders, stretching the arms forward, rounding in the upper back. And let's try that again. Just opening up the chest, stretching in the fronts of the shoulders, and then pulling the shoulder blades apart from one another, opening up the back of the shoulders. Nice. So the neck, the shoulders, and the shoulder blades can be an area where we hold a lot of tension. So let's do a little bit of a twist to help loosen that upper back and shoulder blade area. So I'm going to have you just, with your hands on your legs, slide your left hand up towards the top of the thigh and pull your left shoulder back. At the same time, you want to stretch your right hand forward towards your knee. And hopefully you feel that nice little stretch in the front of the left shoulder, little twist in the upper back, and then let's come back to center and see how it feels on the other side. So I'm going to slide my right hand up towards the top of my thigh. At the same time, I'm sliding my left hand forward towards my left knee, making sure my neck doesn't feel tight or stiff, and then coming back to center. So let's do that with a breath pattern. Inhale, we'll move to the left. Exhale, we'll come back to center. Good. Inhale, we'll move to the right. And exhale, we'll come back to center. Good job. Let's check back in with our neck. One more time. Same thing. Look up. Look down. Look left. Look right. Ooh, and see, that feels better for me. Does that feel better for you? Bring your left ear to your left shoulder and your right ear to your right shoulder. And then let's roll those shoulders together, forward up, back and down. And then roll those shoulders back up, forward and down. Adjust your sweater if you need to, and take a deep breath in and out. Okay, So if you are working at a computer, or you're typing, or you're texting, or you're driving, our hands, our wrists, and our forearms can get really tight. So take your left hand, float it in the air, circle your wrist 3 times one way, and then the other way. Good job. Push your palm forward, take your other hand and pull the fingers back only as much as feels comfortable. Press those left fingers down to the floor and pull the top of the hand towards you, getting a stretch at the top of the wrist. And then give a little shake, get that blood flow and circulation. And same thing with the right hand. Float it in the air, circle 3 times, one way. And you'll notice probably the opposite direction you go. If I say circle your wrists and you do it normally and you go the other way, that feels a little tighter. So just something to pay attention to. Press your palm forward, pull your fingers back, only as much as feels good in the body. Press your right fingers down, give a little stretch across the top of the wrists, shake that out, get that blood flow and circulation. Okay, nice. So now we're going to focus on the spine. We're going to just do a couple of spinal rolls. So you can go as far forward as feels comfortable to you. You may go further than me. You may go not as far as me. Make sure you drink your coffee in the morning so you can pay attention to what you're saying. Okay, spinal rolls. Here we go. So you're going to drop your chin down. You're going to pull your shoulders forward. It's going to make your hands slide over your knees. You're going to round your back. And this may be your stopping point. If you want a little more, you can slide all the way forward, resting the body over the legs. Then you're going to reverse what you just did. Round up from the bottom of the spine, the middle of the spine, the top of the spine, and then lift the head. Take a deep breath in and out. And let's try that again. So rounding forward with the head, the shoulders, the upper back, and maybe you stay right there. If you want to keep going further, you can round all the way forward, just letting every muscle along the sides of the spine stretch, and then use your core to round from the bottom to the middle to the top of the spine. Come up, take a deep breath in and out. Really nice. Okay, so let's get a little movement in. I really should not have worn this sweater. It's driving me crazy. Okay, let's get a little movement into the hips. So if you are sitting down all day, your hips are going to get really tight. So we're going to keep it really simple. You can grab underneath the back of your thigh, or if you have the flexibility, around your knee and or your shin bone. So I'm going to have you scooch to the edge of your chair and or your couch cushion if that's how you are sitting down. And you're going to lift your left thigh, pull it in towards your chest. If you want more, lean back. And then you're going to drop and you're going to do the other side. Sorry, I have a squeaky chair. You may be hearing that. And so this just is going to give a little bit of a stretch into the back of the hip and helps to loosen the low back. If you have any low back tightness, you can lean really far back or not so far back. And we're just going to alternate, probably one more each, just to get that blood flow moving, that circulation. Good job. Okay. Now the front of the hip, depending on what type of chair you have, just be mindful. I'm going to invite you to walk your feet over to the right side, hold on to the chair, kind of scooch so that you can drop your left knee down towards the floor. Now this should get the front of the hip flexor. And make sure that you're not feeling this in your low back. You want to lift up in your spine. If you need more, you can always tuck the toes of the left foot and stretch your leg back like a lunge. Ooh, that's a lot for the morning. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay right here and you can lift up. You should really feel that across the front of the hip, down maybe through the quad. And remember, you can do that kind of seated lunge if you need a little more. Nice. All right, so that's the front of the hip. Then we're going to do the back of the hip one more time. Pull that left knee in. Turn back to center, and you're just going to cross your left leg over your right and then give a little rotation through the spine to the left, twisting the spine, releasing the low back, getting the outside of that left hip. Okay, well, let's see how we do on the other side. So walking over, dropping your right knee down, holding onto your chair, putting your hands on your thigh if that helps you, or even holding onto the seat of the chair. You can tuck your right toes, do a little deeper of a lunge. Definitely feel that. So make sure it's not too much. You don't feel it in your low back. Lift up, breathe. Whew. All right. And you can always just slow this practice down. If I'm going too fast for you, you can take a little more time, come back around to the front, cross your right thigh over your left, give yourself a little bit of a rotation in the spine to the right, helping to loosen the outside of that right hip, the low back. Great job. Come back to center. Let's end where we began, planting the feet into the floor. Lifting up tall in the spine, hands to the thighs, close the eyes, and take 3 deep breaths. Tune in to the warmth from the blood flow and the circulatory system, waking up, moving through the body, feeling energized, present. You can open your eyes. I hope you come back to this routine again and again, and you have a great day. Bye.